Hey everyone, Branden back. It's from Branden's Boy Problems, and today's episode is about something that's been weighing heavily on me lately. It's whether or not to be pause friendly. I live in Atlanta, and it's no secret Atlanta is an HIV capital. STIs are frequent here. Like, there's so many people here living with HIV. Like, Georgia is the state with the most amount of people living with HIV. So, yes, it's not uncommon to encounter people that are HIV positive, even the ones that are actually open about their status, because there are lots of people that don't know their status because they're not getting tested regularly. And there's also people that are not protecting themselves, and like there's so many people getting HIV and STIs because they still think like, oh, I'm having fun, I'm in the moment, and I just don't need to, don't ask, don't tell. But the reality is HIV is everywhere. Like, the CDC predicted years ago that black men who have sex with men, like 50% of the entire population is going to end up HIV positive. And that's always been my biggest fear, and becoming another statistic of being someone that's HIV positive, especially a black gay man that's HIV positive, has always been something I feared and didn't want. And thankfully I'm on PrEP, and yes, I probably could be safer and use condoms and PrEP, but still, it's over 99% effective, so I take it every single day, and I feel more at ease about avoiding becoming another black gay man statistic having HIV. But there are many people out here that are HIV positive, and yes, like, you can be undetectable if you take your meds and live a healthy, long life, and HIV is just another, like, diabetes. Is no longer like you're gonna die if you get HIV. So I am aware, like, if someone's undetectable, like, it's pretty much impossible for them to transmit HIV to me. If I'm on PrEP, like, it's pretty much impossible for me to get HIV from anyone that's positive, or especially someone that is undetectable. So it's like, there is virtually no risk of me getting the STI or getting HIV, but the reality is still, like, I don't feel comfortable having sex with someone that I know is positive, whether it's undetectable or not. Like, we're just conditioned, like, okay, this person's HIV, like, avoid them. Like, that's how it's been ever since, like, we started watching those AIDS movies and documentaries and whatnot back in the day. And, like, there's been so much medical advancement, etc. Like, PrEP pretty much is HIV medication. You're just taking it before you ever got HIV, and then people take it because they had HIV to, like, become undetectable. So it's like, I'm aware, like, I barely have a risk of HIV, but it's still really difficult to get in the position that, should I be open to dating or having sex with someone that's HIV positive? And it's like, I most likely have been with someone that's positive, whether they lied to me and claimed to be negative when they weren't, or on the off chance I didn't ask, though, I make sure to ask, like, at least 98% of the time whether someone's HIV positive or negative. I always ask if we had anal sex. Like, no matter how drunk or high or where I am, whether it's the bathhouse, the sex club, etc., like, I don't give a fuck. Like, whether it's a dark room, I will ask you, what is your status? And I make sure to ask every single time. And the ones I didn't ask, we definitely were not fucking. And it's rare that I don't even ask for that, because I make sure to ask for oral anyway. But still, like, it's difficult, like, crossing that bridge or making that leap that you can be, I don't know, open to being with someone that you know is positive when you're negative. And it's like, even with PrEP and undetectable and everything, it's still not easy to just say, like, you know what, I'm openly going to just go and have sex with someone that I know is HIV positive, undetectable, whatever. Like, and it's like, lately there have been a lot of guys, they're like messaging with them, they're cute, I find them intriguing, I'm interested, and then the question comes up, like, and then they reveal they're positive or undetectable, whatever. But it's like, like, and I honestly just tell people, oh, I'm actually not pause friendly yet, and it's like, am I cutting myself off from opportunities to be with guys that, like, I could potentially like and be with? Am I the reason why I'm still single? Because, like, I could easily have a boyfriend, but they happen to be pause, but I'm completely shutting out guys that are pause. And it's like, I've talked to, like, many guys that are on PrEP and have dated guys that are undetectable, positive, whatever, and they didn't have an issue with it. But for me, it's, like, such an issue. And, like, I have friends that are also on PrEP, and they also are not pause friendly, even though we know, like, there's still no risk. It's just, like, that stigma associated with HIV that makes you, like, ew, like, I know you're pause, and it's like, can I even feel comfortable to the point, like, sucking your dick or having your penis near me, knowing that HIV lives inside of you? Like, it's like a mental blockage now. It's like not even science or statistics or facts. It's like, you know, like you are most likely safe, but it's also like always that paranoia, and it's like, well, what if for some reason I have to get off PrEP? And then it's like, I know I definitely would not be comfortable having sex with someone that's undetectable or positive, knowing that I can no longer be on PrEP anymore. And it's also like, even when I am on PrEP, I'm still not being pause friendly. So it's like, if I definitely wasn't on PrEP, I certainly would not be pause friendly or whatnot. And then I also had this epiphany one time. It's like, okay, imagine like you're dating someone that is positive. It's like you get over the stigma and the issues and the hurdles, and it's like you finally are comfortable to the point where like, okay, I can date and be with this person and love them. And then it's like, what if they start acting like a fuckboy and liar and cheater and typical like ancient ass nigga like everyone else out here that's like negative? And it's like, am I really gonna put up with bullshit for someone that has HIV? Like, is that really something I'm willing to do? Like, am I gonna let some guy that has HIV embarrass me like that? Like, no. Like, I should not have to go out of my comfort zone and become open-minded for someone that's just gonna treat me like shit anyway. But it's like, okay, like, you can't, like, guys aren't shit in general, and it's like, I guess pos people have every right to be as much of a piece of shit as guys that are negative, because it's like stigma, whatever, treat everyone equally, problematic, whatever. That was problematic, but I don't give a fuck. Like, it's the reality of the situation is, no matter like how much information we know about HIV and how much we're aware of the risk and how much we know how little risk there is with all the medicine out there today, and if someone's taking care of themselves and whether you are taking care of yourself and getting tested regularly, it's still like, I'm just not pos friendly, and I'm fine with that. And if you are pos and you're interested in me, I'm sorry, like, I'm not interested in you because of your HIV status. And that is a reality that many gay men go through and people need to talk about. It's like, people are preaching this whole like, everyone should be open to everyone, HIV isn't a death sentence, it's not a stigma, etc. Like, get rid of the stigma, everyone is just a person, your status doesn't define you, whatever. But in reality, it's like, that's not the way the world works. Like, we have the right to decide, like, you know what, I'm just not comfortable being intimate or having sex with someone that I know has HIV inside of their body, and I am negative, and I just want to avoid any possible risk of HIV entering my body. So yeah, I do feel like I'm at a point where I feel like eventually I'm going to have to be pos friendly, because it's like, if 50% of black gay men are HIV positive, and living in Atlanta where the majority is black gay men, it's like, that just eliminates a whole spectrum, like half the population already for potential dating prospects if you get rid of everyone's positive. And then you already have to factor out the people that aren't my type because I'm not attracted to you, like physically, you're not in my age range I like, you're not the body type, you're not the right face type, like you're not cute to me. Like, yeah, it's like we are already factoring out every little detail about people, like you don't have a college education or like all this other shit. It's like you're a bum. Like, it's already hard enough to find love, and then it's like, I could just be open to people that are positive, and it's like, I could find a guy that's like literally everything I want, and then find out, oh no, he's positive, and it's like, he'd be perfect in every other sense, and it's like, is that a risk I'm willing to take? So yes, it's a struggle learning to get to the point about being pos friendly when you are negative and on PrEP, even though you know the risk is minimal, but it's still a scary leap to take to finally be at a point where it's like, I'm okay having sex with someone that I know is positive. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Branden's Boy Problem.